Hello and welcome to the 15th annual LD Micro main event. I'm here with John Keeler, CEO of Blue Star Foods Corp, ticker symbol BSFC on the NASDAQ Stock Exchange. John, thank you so much for joining us here today. Would you like to tell some of our viewers a little bit more about the company?
Thank you, Jonathan, for having us here. Well, we are a sustainable seafood company that actually now is, after the news of the snow crab season being canceled, we really are the solution to have food security for many years to come. We are a land-based, or what they call it, indoor farming seafood company that we can grow fish and other species like softshell crab on land and be able to supply to for many years to come.
That's great. Where are most of your locations?
We have farms in South Carolina and in British Columbia, Canada as well.
Wow. And how did you get involved with the company? What's your background?
How did I get involved in the company? I started a company in a kitchen pantry back in 1995 and a borrowed fax machine selling crab meat at the time.
Oh,
and
wow.
then we evolved over the years from a small-scale fisheries to a land-based seafood company.
Interesting. So what's your current marketing strategy to get the word out to investors and consumers alike?
Well, I think it's just rehash of, unfortunately, what we're saying is going to happen, which are the bad news that there are less fish in the ocean. There's a lot more pollution. There's more microplastic presence in the fish. And in news like that I just told you, so like the snow crab season being canceled, notwithstanding the king crab season got canceled in 2 years in a row, those are the things that we need to tell everybody. Hey, we have seen it. We've been in the business for 27 years. It's happening. We took the responsibility to go from wild caught into land based and tell everyone what are where are we going to run out of seafood and what can we do about it. And that goes along with consumers, goes into a very strong IR, and here we are doing a spotlight.
Nice. And so from my limited understanding, there's a lot that goes into farming animals, especially in the ocean. Are you responsible for the infrastructure, the placement? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Right. We don't farm in the ocean, dude. We actually we actually on land, indoor farming. Imagine there's indoor farming under a roof. Okay. The only thing that I think are missing is to put music to those fish. Those guys live in a perfect environment. Imagine the way we grow them is, imagine all the astronauts in the space station out there have to be perfect, impeccable living space and standards for them to survive. So we do the same thing with the fish. And currently, now that you touch about the oceanic open pen aquaculture in the ocean, oceanic obviously. We have seen that actually becomes a lot more detrimental to the environment.
Yeah.
There's tons of antibiotic being used, lice, sea lice, which is a disease that exists from the overpopulation of the fish in a particular area. The escapees of those aquaculture or farm raised into the wild, and the toxicity of the ocean and microplastic that exist. Those permits or those licenses are being slowly for surely not being renewed. The biggest one is the British Columbia government has actually instituted a provision that nothing will be renewed after June of last year. And the transition from ocean cage or oceanic cage open net salmon farming needs to transition to land.
Really?
So that's really what is going to happen.
Interesting. It's great to see a new ecologically sustainable model coming about.
We needed it. We needed
did need it.
By 2050, if we don't do anything about anything at all, only 5% of the population will have access to seafood.
Wow.
And even though by then you need to find out if the fish has microplastic or not.
Right?
How do you figure it out?
No, you don't. Guess you're the guy to know, right?
Well, I guess so.
So do you have any exciting news, announcements, new locations coming up that you'd like investors to know about?
Well, we, through our investor presentation, we have a great new site for the salmon farm in British Columbia, and it is next to a barley farm that it goes well hands on hand, because all the waste, it will be used for fertilizer for them.
That's great.
And other announces is, we'll continue to grow our revenues, and it just prompt that supply cannot keep up with the demand. But us having the security that we can continue harvest week over week, month over month, it ascertained that we're definitely going to, in a way, win. Have a small win on this model.
So, John, thank you so much for coming by. Again, this is John Keeler from Blue Star Food Corp, ticker symbol BSFC. John?
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.